Welcome back to another Charlotte Legacy League where we have Esper Vial versus Eldrazi Stompy. A huge thank you to the Patreon supporters who are helping the league and YouTube channel. If you would like to become a supporter, please click on the link in the show notes. If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Legacy Gamers, both players on 7, and Connor's on the play, leading off on a Devour of Destiny in his pre-game effects. So, no matter how many times I see Eldrazi Stompy, I am left wondering what half these cards do because there's so much text on them. And that's why I put them up on the screen for you. Not only can you read along, but so can I. Alright, we're going to just play a Forest and pass back over to Peter, who's going to play an Over City Sewers. And it's going to throw that Meddling Mage, a Blast from the Past, into the graveyard. And back over to Connor's side. Lotus Petal into an Eye of Ugin, which is what he picked up off of the Devour of Destiny. And we're going to see a turn 2 Microspawn into an Eldrazi Temple into a Glaring Fleshraker. So, Eldrazi Stompy off to a lightning fast start. Let's see what Peter can do with that. Drawing a Mother Runes, which doesn't really help against these colorless beasts from another world. So, let's see what we got going on now. Another, well, that looks like a waste. 5 damage coming over to Peter. And he's going to have to do something quick to stave off these boys, or these spaghetti monsters, I should say. But we are going to see a Flalia, Exuberant Shepherd, so the bestest boy ever has arrived, flashing in and attacks, exiles a creature that they control, and not control, but maybe owns. I'd have to go back and read that again. And now we've got a Caracas to protect the bestest boy. And we have a Gilded Drake, another Blast from the Past. We're going to try and go after that Fleshraker here, and we're going to see a Kozilek's Command for 3. Now, the important thing about... so, wait, hold on. 1, 2, and then 2. Okay, so it is going to be for 3 to take out that Gilded Drake. What I was saying was, it's important to remember how these old cards work, that if there's not another target for the Gilded Drake when it swaps, then the Gilded Drake fizzles. Which is exactly what happened there. And he's going to scry and draw a card. And the Glaring Fleshraker will hit and give him a Microspawn. 1 white mana. And what do we have coming into play after that exchange? Could be the Mother Runes, could be an Esper, could be a Vial. Not an Esper Vial because that's the name of the deck. It is a Mother Runes. I imagine she's just there for support at this point. Because those spaghetti monsters are colorless. We got a colorless mana being tapped. What do we have? We have a Herald, and I believe it first hails the end. It's a herald. It that heralds the end. Okay, so the end is nigh, and we're gonna have another trigger from the Glaring Fleshraker, and we've got quite a few things happening. It looks like another. Sowing Microspawn. It's not micro, I just learned that. With a Cradle coming out to make lots and lots of mana with that Eye of Ugin. And Peter's had enough. See you in game number 2. If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Round 2, Peter's kept 6 and will be on the play. He's going to lead off with a fetch. Connor is on 7. We'll see an Aether Vial come out rather quickly from Peter's side, and then a pass over to Connor. We'll see what he has to lead off with. Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, and 1 turn too late, Chalice of the Void on 1. Back over to Peter. Untap. We'll see it tick up on that Vial. One of the names, it is the namesake of the deck, Prismatic Vista. And they didn't come in time, so he's doing it the classy way. Back over to Connor's side. Patented Eva Elfie grip on his deck. And and let's see what he has to lead off with here on turn number 2. Wasteland not looking great here. 4 mana coming. And what do we have? We have a Thought-Knot Seer. Heads up play by Peter incoming. We're going to see a... Consign to Memory, as well as a Replicate. Now, the interesting thing about that is the Consign is actually countered by the Chalice, but the Replicate is not. So he's able to stave off that Thought-Knot Seer for a turn, and that's probably going to help him go a long way. It is time for Meddling Mage. I'm not entirely sure what they name, but I'm pretty sure he probably named Glittering Fleshraker, or the Micro Spawn. Yeah. The green one that kicks and blows shit up. So, back over to Connor's side, and let's see if he has anything to answer this lightning fast start from Peter. Wasteland not looking great here. Another Lotus Petal coming out, and anything to play. It looks like 5 mana, and we've got a kick, and we did not name that, obviously. I guess we probably named the Glaring Fleshraker instead. Uptick to 3. Something I didn't mention was the Skyclave apparition that took out the Chalice on 1. That's going to open up for the Swords of Posture just played, and we will see a Harbinger of the Sea. Not only is it a Eldrazi killer, it's also a lands killer. On to game number 3, both players kept 7. Connor on the play, Wasteland and a Chalice on 1. Starting off early, that's a good way to be. I don't believe the Esper Vial deck actually plays any counter magic. I believe it's more creature based than anything else, and that is correct. Does play at least 1 Lorien of the Third Path and 4 Recruit of the Guard, so it's able to find them. 3 Gilded Drakes, 2 Giver Runes, and 2 Mother Runes, a Lion Sash, 4 Phelias, a Samwise, a Stout-Hearted, 4 Stoneforge Mystics, an Aether Chandler, 2 Flicker Wisps, a Harbinger of the Seas in the main, 2 Skyclaves, 1 Phyrexian Metamorph, and 1 Witch's Enchanter, and 4 Solitudes. Man, this deck looks really fun, actually. Along with 4 Plows, 4 Aether Vials, and a Simulation Aegis, 2 Pre-War Formal Wares, and the Cauldron Complete. Now, interesting about that Simulation Aegis is when it enters the battlefield, exile the 1 target creature until Simulation Aegis leaves the battlefield. When it becomes attached to a creature, for as long as it's attached, or remains attached to it, that creature becomes a copy of that creature card exiled by the Aegis. Interesting. So, alright, we got a reader there, putting up on your screen just so we're all on the same page here. The bestest boy has passed away, unfortunately. Back over to Connor's side. You will notice that this is going to be edited pretty heavily for the next couple minutes, just because there's quite a bit actually happening and a lot of thought going into everything, and I didn't really want to bore you with the card flicking and the thought process. Just probably not smart enough for it. All right, we're going to see a Solitude for a good 2 for 1, and then he's going to get to draw a card off that Thought-Knot Seer before it looks at his hand. Solitude gone, and we're going to see the Consigned Memory taken, and then a follow-up. Thought-Knot Seer. That's a big rip. 4 cards out of Peter's hand. Let's see if he's able to come back from that devastating blow from Panuccio. It's going to draw, and at least he has a land to play, and he could buy Yorion here because he does have the Recruit of the Guard. He does do that, and probably a pass back over at this point. Not really wanting to swing in against that. Connor's taking a read on this Wastegate Battle Mage to make sure he understands exactly what he's looking at. He does actually go and pull his phone out to make sure he knows exactly what it does. It's kind of interesting that it has quite a few lines of text on it and does quite a few different things by either returning a creature to your hand, destroying it, or destroying an artifact or enchantment, depending on which way you kick. Or you could just kick both sides of it, and then it's a really nasty creature altogether. Personally, I've played a Tinker into a Citadel, and then getting it wastegaped the next turn. We'll see the Yorion come into play, flicker out the Recruit of the Guard, and go get an actual Flicker Wisp. Spicy. And then here's that Wastegate Battle Mage. Looks like we're going to kick it, and we're going to bounce the Yorion, as well as make another spawn token here. So quite a few things happening, and we're going to see a swing over I believe that would be for 5, because the Fleshraker is a 2/2 and the Thought Knot is okay, that's 6. Because math is good. Thought Knot's a 4/4. Fleshraker is a 2/2. All right, we've got a Gilded Drake coming into play, and see if he wants to flicker that out and pick something else up as well. He does want to flicker that out. And he's going to take the Wasescape instead of the Thought Knot Seer. That's an interesting play. I think the 4/4 would be better suited, since the Wasescape has already done its damage by bouncing a creature. Yeah, I think I'd rather just have the... Oh shit, Devour of Destiny is on the stack. It's a cast ability that's going to exile that Flicker Wisp, and now there's a 6/6 in play, as well as 7 power coming across. Peter will eat up 3 of that damage from the Gilded Drake. Remember, a buyer beware with that Gilded Drake. Not only is it dumb expensive because it's never been printed out of Urza's Saga, but also it's a flying 3/3 that if you can't get it back off the battlefield, you're not going to have a great time, especially if you don't control a lot of flyers. So he can at least chump the Devour with the man, there's so many. Man, these things are like Glaring Fleshraker. Like I said, put these cards up so I remember what they're called. So he can jump the Devour with the Glaring Fleshraker. He can chump the Gilded Drake with the Yorion, and that'd be a pretty good spot to be in. Actually, I wonder if you chump the Thought Knot so you can draw another card. Well, actually, you can't really afford to do any of that. All right, we're going to see the Yorion bounced. Uh-oh, we're at 1 life. There's quite a bit of damage coming across. Let's see if we knock out that Devour. Or we got to chump the Devour. We got to chump the... Well, only thing we can block. Okay, so it's a good thing that he did bounce that, because he's actually able to... Well, it sucks he has to pitch the Yorion to it. Now, he's got quite a bit of work to do here. Alright, so everything is blocked, and it looks like he's going to Solitude the Gilded Drake to get that flyer off the battlefield. And now he's got 2 creatures he's going to have to deal with out here as well. Does have a Recruiter of the Guard to get something out of his deck. Let's look and see what he might be able to go get. Go get a Flicker Wisp. He could go get a Skyclave. That will allow him to draw a card. So that's a good exchange. And then a pass back over. Skyclave does have 4 counters on it. So if he has to block with it, he's definitely going to have a tough time. All right, 1 and 2. Now he has a 4/4 Illusion in play. What else do we have? An untap. We've got a Swords of Plowshare. Found a Flicker Wisp. All right, if we have a Meddling Mage, probably going to name Glaring Fleshraker, like always. We have a Flicker Wisp. Hit the Chalice. Chalice goes to 0. And he does have a Swords of Plowshare in his hand, so he is able to take out that Devour. Does have an Eye of Ugin in play and in hand. Doesn't do much there for him. But he does have the swords for the Devour. So we'll see a swing. Devour goes away. Up another 6 life, up to 31. That Ancient Tomb is definitely not going to be an issue for Connor with maximum life. We'll see if he's able to make something else happen here. So we have another Devour. So Devour in play. See if Peter can fend off another one. And nope. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below.